All right, so we've got new Suicide Boys. Super excited to, do a little reaction video with y'all. Put you right here because I'm going to be up editing. Let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Hey, I already know what time I'm on. Double outside on all the ball. She tryna get my love. The best I can do is a trauma ball.
When Lonely Boy album was coming out, I could have sworn this is what we heard. Something like this. We were breadcrumbs.
Telling myself that it's okay. No, that's a lie. I was always told that boys don't cry. Why am I so broke inside? Waste time on the inner child. Motherfucker been dead since 5.
Men need to cry. There's a difference between needing to cry because you're going through some shit and just needing to grow a fucking pair.
Make sure that you do go ahead and check out that Suicide Boy playlist that I have. Don't forget to follow me on the Twitter. I like to tweet things sometimes. If you want, go ahead and follow me on Instagram.
Thank God I have a fiddle gauge too.
And that's for women as well. When you're brought up a certain way and you're used to just throwing on a facade, it can be hard to just let yourself get to that point. Like, how many times have you got so frustrated, felt so broken deep down inside, and you feel like you just need to cry, but it's almost like you mask with anger or with disassociation, even though deep down inside you know you need to cry. I know I've just been mentally spent where I'm just like, I know I want to, but I just can't bring myself to cry. And that's something that men really need to understand. You know what? If your girl or wife has an issue with you crying, homie, that is not the one for you.
Waste time on the inner child. Motherfucker been dead since 5.
When you go through so much shit in life, especially as someone who's gone through a lot of shit at such an early age, it's almost like part of you is constantly in some sort of state of deep reflection, and it can be tiring, especially if you're making your own mistakes. Whether you could break certain habits or not, being self-aware just honestly isn't enough sometimes. And you would think with being a self-aware person that you wouldn't make mistakes, that you'd steer yourself clear whatever mistakes or errors, because you could sit here and you could make mistakes and you could fuck up and you could know exactly why you did whatever it is that you did. It doesn't mean that you're not going to do any of this shit again. I wouldn't wish my childhood on Satan himself.
I keep reaching out for help.
This is clearly a person who, in my opinion, represents Ruby. I'm not gonna lie, I'm speaking for the women. Fine, he has lashes and lips, but Ruby is definitely known for amazing hair. There are like 50 shades of Ruby out there, but the most recent shade has like this length hair. And with that, this suffices for that. And I'm not hitting on anyone. It's just, look, we know. I'm assuming it's a dude. It's suffocating. Like, you can't really see him struggling with the respirations right now, but towards the end of the video, you see him struggling to breathe. It's time to come home, and it's time to take that mask off and just breathe and figure it out. I love the symbolism that Ruby always brings to the table. Ruby needs to start writing books. Dean Koontz, no. We need a Ruby to Cherry gothic romance novel, preferably. But, I'll settle with like 3 pages for beginners, or like 10. Grass matters. Okay, look, I'm not a vegan. But I will say I am all for the grass. It is very important to get outside and touch the grass at some point, I'm not trying to say that it's the healthiest coping mechanism, but it's completely understandable if you're surrounded by snakes and jackals. Home is where you're safe, but at the same time, you're alone with your thoughts. Like, I know with me, when I go through things, I tend to just stay home as well. But I mean, I'll just get so fed up with just being in a funk that I just make myself go outside. It's going to be interesting to see what people have to say about that line. I think it's time to bid farewell. Because, everyone's always fearing that the boys are going to retire or stop making music. And it's bound to happen at some point in time. Their lives, they're entitled to do whatever it is that they feel that they need to do, especially if it means that they're going to be in a better state of being all around. Honestly, There was a period of time in which like I had the option to just be out all the time, but I understand my patterns and my comfort level, and I know when to pump the brakes on certain things, and I just stay home. He's not talking about recharging his batteries at home. He's kind of talking about, you know, how being reclusive essentially lead to some form of self-destruction. You know, it's easy to sit here and think you have a house, so there's stuff to do, at least on my end. And that's why it's so easy to just stay home. But I mean, you need to get up and start your day at some point. You need to get out and touch some grass too. So between this and the last drop, I feel like the album that we're gonna get in June, it's gonna be just as complex as the most recent Lonely Boy album or the Lonely Boy album. Like, we saw a lot of different shades of grim, and I think that's something that we're going to be expecting with this up and coming album that's going to be dropped in June. I feel like I say this in every video for being vulnerable and just being real and present with their lyrics. You know, we're seeing where their life has been most recently. I don't want to say right now because who knows, like maybe this is something that was written a year ago. Who knows? I really don't care. I have a feeling that this is recent. Doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I just want them to be happy and healthy. That's all I want for my boys, okay, is for them to be happy and healthy, okay? The double H, not the triple H, healthy, happy with hoagies. There you go, triple H. I don't know. God, I'm such a fucking dork sometimes. Shit. And I think it's safe to say at this point, obviously music is a therapeutic outlet for them as well. So that's why I'm very pleased with them creating songs that touch on whatever it is that they're going through or most recently have gone through. Thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. You can find me on the Twitter. Check that out.